Once upon a time, there was a little orphan girl named Lina, full of wonder, kindness, and curiosity. She had been living with her aunt, Mira, for many years, but one day, Mira realized she could no longer care for her. So she made a decision that would send Lina high into the mountains. There, in a lonely wooden cabin, lived an old man named Aaron. He was Lina's grandfather. The people in the village feared him. Whispers claimed he had a dark past. Some even believed he had once taken someone's life. But Mira didn't care. Without a goodbye, she left Lina on his doorstep and vanished down the trail. Aaron didn't want the child. He wasn't ready for laughter to break the silence of his days. So he locked himself inside his cabin, leaving Lina to find shelter in the barn. There, among the goats, she curled up and slept. The next morning, something changed. Aaron handed her a cup of warm goat's milk. Maybe he wasn't as cold as everyone thought. Hoping someone else would take her in, he brought Lina to the village priest, who reminded Aaron of his responsibility. But fate had already begun its quiet work. Lina met a boy named Thomas, who took Aaron's goats into the hills every day. Lina began joining him, exploring the wide skies, laughing with the wind, sharing her lunch, and even scolding Thomas when he struck the goats with his stick. Her warmth melted even the hardest hearts, even Aaron's. Then one day, Mira returned. This time, she claimed to have a new job and promised to care for Lina properly. Aaron didn't trust her, but Mira tricked him again. She found Lina playing in the fields and told her a lie, that Aaron wanted her to come with her. Believing her, Lina left. They traveled far to the big city of Brennenburg, where Mira brought her to a wealthy mansion. Lina had been chosen to be the companion of a girl named Kara, who lived in a wheelchair and hadn't smiled in years. The governess, Miss Vella, didn't like Lina. She thought the girl was wild and unfit. But Lina's light touched Kara's heart. They became inseparable, laughing, learning, and dreaming together. Kara confessed that after her mother's death, her world had gone dark. But Lina brought the dawn. Still, Lina missed the mountains. One night she sleepwalked, opening the mansion doors, staring out into the cold night. The doctor came. His verdict was clear. Lina was homesick. If she stayed longer, it could break her. Kara's heart shattered. But her father, Mr. Falcon, knew what had to be done. Lina had to go home. And so, Lina returned to Aaron, back to the mountains, the goats, and the open sky. She went to school now, learned to read, and wrote letters to Kara. Then one day, Kara and her grandmother, Madame Solin, arrived in the village. The reunion was magical, but something dark stirred. Thomas was jealous. One afternoon, he did something terrible. He pushed Kara's wheelchair off a cliff. Thankfully, she was safe. Then, something no one expected happened. Kara stood, wobbly and slow, but she stood, and she walked. With Lina and Thomas by her side, she found strength she never knew she had. When Kara's family returned, they were stunned. Their daughter, the girl who hadn't walked in years, was standing tall. Before leaving, Kara gave Lina a hug and promised they would meet again. Madame Solin handed Lina a journal, a place to write her stories. And in the final scene, Lina, with her goats and her dreams, smiled as she wrote in that journal, a story of love, loss, and the healing power of friendship and home. And that is the story of Lina.